And coming up next on 12 Weekends Today, is it time to buy your dream home? We're talking about 2017 projections for real estate in the Valley. Welcome back, everyone. If you plan to put your home up for sale this year, some simple steps can actually increase the chances of selling. First, you have to depersonalize. Take down the family pictures. We know you love them, but you can keep them. Make sure to replace them with faceless, fancy-free photos or artwork or something that the average person would like. Potential buyers will be able to picture themselves living there and not you, because you're leaving, right? Clean and declutter as well. The space will look bigger, and make sure you update the kitchen and the bathrooms if needed. I understand you also get a good return on your investment if you do the kitchens and bathrooms. Give the front door a fresh coat of paint if you don't buy a new one, and remember, first impressions matter. So if you're outside, make sure to look where you can add some flowers and some shrubs. And so here's a good question. If you're thinking about making that big move, that this could be actually the year for you, right? 2017, there's a lot of buzz going around the real estate market in Arizona, and here to help us sort it all out, Realtor Holly Henbest. Did I get that?
You got it right.
All right, I'm terrible with names, but I remember you. Okay, so we're talking about how 2016 was and how we think 2017 is going to be better, right? Why do we think that?
Exactly. Well, every year when we start the new year, we kind of reflect on the past year to see how we're poised to be starting the new year. And if our ending to 2016 is any indication, 2017 is going to be a banner year. I think the buzz really started with Realtor.com's posting last month that they expected Phoenix and the Scottsdale area to be the #1 real estate market for the nation next year. So from there, the economists and realtors and everyone really started taking a look at the research of why do we think this year is going to be the best year ever, and where are we standing right now to make us feel like we are again poised and on a good platform for starting out the year. Part of it is we ended December phenomenally.
Right. It was like the second best in a while, right?
Yeah, it was the second best since 2001, and it was the best since 2005. So considering that December is usually one of our slowest months, not only because of the holidays, but just kind of that end of year lag, because really the spring here is our #1 season because of weather. So to have December be so strong, that's a phenomenal start for 2017.
So talk to us about what in 2017 the home buyer will look like. I understand there's a little girl power going on here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring on the female buyer. We're definitely seeing a surge of the female single woman buying a home this year, as well as millennials and boomers. And again, I think we have a lot of pent-up demand from when the market was difficult several years ago. People really hunkered down. I think we're also seeing a lot of increased household numbers because we had a lot of families living multi-generationally. Everybody was kind of pooling their money. Kids who went to college came home and stayed home for longer so that they could save up. And even parents were moving in with their kids. Again, families are really pooling their money, hunkering down, making sure they were feeling safe and secure financially. And now that they've felt safe financially for a few years, again, I think that pent-up demand is there to really spring off of for this year.
That seems like perhaps a defense mechanism against the recession, right? Live at home for a little longer, save the money because it's expensive, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And speaking of expensive, really not everybody has the cash to just like, hey, let's go buy a house. So talk about lending. Is that going to be a challenge this year for some? Because if the rates are going up, that gets intimidating, right?
It does, and I think when people hear that rates are ticking up, they get kind of scared about it, but the reality is they're ticking up very marginally. So, and still right now, even if we ended up at 4.5% to 5%, that's still a great interest rate. So I don't think people should be necessarily afraid of the interest rate, but what they should know is it's probably going to be higher at the end of this year than it is right now. But lending is also in one of the most positive realms that it's been in for quite some time. This year we saw an increase just last month for FHA. We also saw an increase for conventional in terms of the loan limits. So now you can buy a little bit more. The loan limit threshold has increased. So we haven't seen that for a really long time. So that's fantastic. We're also seeing that more and more loans are getting approved. You used to, you know, there's so much fodder and talk on the street, if you will, where people share their war stories about buying real estate.
Right.
And one of the biggest war stories people used to tell was how loans were falling apart and people weren't getting their loan approved. We're seeing that that loan approval rating has increased significantly. So you're not hearing those stories as often anymore about people falling out of escrow due to their loan.
So that
Things
provides
are getting
a
closed.
pretty positive outlook for 2017.
Absolutely. And there's still a lot of great opportunities for people to do no down, especially first-time buyers. If you're, you know, one of our heroes in terms of, you know, first responders, there's great opportunities still for no down payment.
Well, Holly Henbest, full of real estate, information. And if you want to get in contact with her, she has a blog. Want to let people know what that is before we...
It's at bestandeasyhomes.com.
There you go. Thanks so much for joining us today.